YNW Melly's mother, Jamie King, was deposed back in November. She is the defendant alongside several other people in the multi-million-dollar wrongful death lawsuit. So apparently it's been very difficult to schedule a deposition for Melly's mom, and the victim's family's lawyers finally got it scheduled, and then it was pretty much a giant waste of time. But the questions are really interesting, so you'll see. Hit subscribe. Here we go. All right, here we go. Motion to compel renewed deposition of Jamie King and for her to answer questions posed in original deposition. And this is for the estate of Christopher Thomas Jr., which is YNW Juvie, one of the victims. Ms. King's court-ordered and court-mandated deposition resulted in a complete waste of time and was in violation of the court's order. Counsel for the plaintiffs have delayed and prevented from taking the requested depositions for a multitude of reasons and tactics presented by both defense counsel and the party defendants. This was filed October 23rd, 2020. The history of this case shows a contemptuous history to avoid engaging in discovery. Jamie King further claims in her pro se motion, most of the forthcoming evidence casts innocence on Mr. Demmons and Mr. Henry. Plaintiff seeks to extort money from everyone mentioned in this investigative reports of the incident. So Melly's mom is saying there's evidence that suggests Melly is innocent and that these lawsuits are them being extorted. Jamie King further claims she was in possession or aware of highly exculpatory evidence by counsel for defendant Jamel Demmons and Cortland Henry, which has not been made public, and which clearly shows that Demmons and Cortland were not responsible for the death of Mr. Thomas. At one point in March of 2022, they were having a lot of issues getting a deposition. Judge Carlos Rodriguez issued an order granting plaintiff's motion and further ordering that the deposition must take place within 70 days of the date of this order. Jamie King and her counsel disobeyed that order. They scheduled the deposition June of 2022. Despite a claim of COVID, Ms. King was posting in the days prior to her deposition about partying and photos with the caption, "Always fuck him like I'm sorry." Oh my god, they put her Instagram stories of her, I guess, out and about partying when she's supposed to have COVID, I think. Ms. King shared late night photos of her out and about in the days prior to her deposition. They emailed saying, "Could you send us proof of the COVID test being positive? She certainly appears to have partied all weekend, got 100% on some nursing exam yesterday, and is back to posting today." Not only that, but Ms. King publicly and recklessly appeared in court at her son's criminal status hearing without a mask on June 15, 2022. So back in November, a few months ago, Jamie King's deposition was scheduled for November 15th at 9:30 a.m. Failure by Jamie King to appear, other attempts to postpone or reschedule, same may result in sanctions. Ms. King and her criminal defense counsel were several minutes late to deposition and then repeatedly wasted time. She answered the following questions. Who is Jamel Demmons? My son. Where was he born? Vero Beach. Who is Jamel's father? Dante Taylor. Is there any dispute of paternity of Dante Taylor as Jamel Demmons' father? No. Does Jamel have any brothers and sisters? Yes. Who are they? What city do you currently reside in? Florida. Are you currently employed? Yes, I'm a nurse. Do you have any other professional jobs or vocations? Do you do anything else? No, I'm a nurse. Are you a manager of your children's musical careers? No. Do you manage any of their apparel businesses, clothing, or merchandise? No. Do you have any professional relationship with Jamel Demmons? No. Have you ever had a professional relationship with Jamel Demmons? No. After those 14 questions, Ms. King took the Fifth Amendment or refused to answer the next 12 questions. Ms. King then answered a few questions about the pronunciation of Demmons. Ms. King was asked, "What is YNW?" She responded, "Based on advice of my counsel, I'm invoking my Fifth Amendment right." Ms. King's lawyer instructed all of the parties how he felt the deposition would proceed, stating, "Without interrupting, we are not going to sit here for hours of questions that she's going to take the fifth on. We're not going to sit here and listen for 2 hours for her invoking her right." So it sounds like she's going to say, "I'm invoking my Fifth Amendment" over and over to the rest of the questions. Hopefully they show us the questions at least. "We're not going to sit here and listen for 2 hours for her invoking the right. I'm telling you she's going to invoke her Fifth Amendment right to all of your subsequent questions." Mr. Trackman also added threats and insults such as, "I get you all have billable hours to deal with." Both set of counsel for plaintiffs are representing their respective cases under contingency, the agreements and contracts to Mr. Trackman and Mr. DeCowden. So all the lawyers for the deceased victims' families aren't even getting paid unless they win anything, pretty much. So he was kind of out of line for saying, "I get it, you all have billable hours to deal with." I get how this could be kind of disrespectful. In order to justify overbroad invocation of the Fifth Amendment, Mr. Trackman claimed Ms. King was being investigated for witness tampering. It's worth noting that some of the same potential witnesses are co-represented by Mr. DeCowden. If you're new to the channel, please hit subscribe. I appreciate the support. Back to the video, boys. Any ongoing investigation, further any tampering with witnesses distinct from what happened leading to the wrongful death or murder of the plaintiffs. Ms. King, how many interviews like the one I showed you have you done? Ms. King responded, "On advice of counsel, I'm invoking my Fifth Amendment right." So they're going to be questioning her about why she's been going on podcasts and she's not answering questions in this. Ms. King has gone to the media and podcasts several times, including interviews which directly discuss the subject events. She will answer when a podcaster asks, but not in a court setting. Have you interviewed alongside your other son, Brandon, aka B-Slime? On advice of counsel, I'm invoking. Ms. King, you publicly posted that Jamel Demmons is innocent, correct? Invoking. Ms. King is openly accused of extortion while also appearing in numerous podcasts, posting weekly, if not daily, about her son's complete innocence. Yet now under oath, she has a double standard of hypocrisy about what she can talk about. Oh my god, here's a giant list of questions she invoked too. Oh God. What's the name of your grandmother? I mean, this is so many questions. It's gonna be hard to read every single one. I'm gonna read the ones that actually matter. Is it true that Mr. King, Jamel's stepfather, your husband, dibbled and dabbled in selling drugs? Do you have an independent recollection of an incident where Mr. King physically battered Jamel Dimmons? Do you know if Jamel Dimmons learned how to tamper with evidence from Benny Curtis King Jr.? Do you know why your grandmother would allege that Mr. King hit Jamel if he did not hit Jamel? Do you know whether this case and how it was handled and how witnesses refused to testify taught Jamel Dimmons in any way about how to handle future cases that might be pending against him? Did Uncle Ronnie do crack in the household around Jamel? This is all. Do any of these questions matter? Are they allowed to just ask anything at depositions about like every family member ever? Did Uncle Ronnie possess firearms in the household around Jamel? Were you aware that Jamel was exposed to firearms and crack cocaine as early as the 4th grade? Jamel referenced finding a gun when he was in the 4th grade. Is it a true story or made up story that you are aware? Did you assist Mr. Dimmons with obtaining any weapons in the 8th grade? What did you do to stop Mr. Dimmons from carrying weapons to school? Mr. Dimmons clearly says that every day he brought a pistol, sometimes 2, in his lunchbox to school. Did you pack Mr. Dimmons' lunchbox? Do you know if Melvin killed Christopher Thomas? Do you know whether Jamel Dimmons killed Christopher Thomas? Do you know who came up with YNW? Do you agree that Christopher Thomas was an original founder of YNW? Would you agree that Anthony Williams publicly held himself as a CEO of YNW? Did the dispute over ownership of YNW lead to a fight between you and Christopher Thomas? What the fuck? Do they have actually like information, or are they just fishing for anything? This is crazy. What efforts have you taken to help solve the murder of Christopher Thomas Jr.? Do you know whether, as of October 25th, 2018, when this happened, whether Jamel had met Cole Bennett? What the fuck? How is Cole Bennett being brought up in this? Come on, bro. Okay, so now they're reading messages that she apparently sent to, I think, Anthony Williams or Sack Chaser. What do you mean he couldn't even take a fucking weed charge? Don't ever come for me. Your credentials are real. What do you mean he's threatening you with a little gun? What do you mean you have big guns? Melly's talented because of his mom, not because of your little ass, R-word ass. Did you destroy evidence related to the murder of Mr. Williams and Mr. Thomas? Apparently she trademarked YNW in June of 2018. Didn't your repeated attempts to take over as principal of YNW, as manager of YNW, or as the banker of YNW cause Mr. Williams to get upset? Were you aware that Mr. Williams has been accused of sending a picture of his private parts to Mariah? So remember we found out about that, and the whole internet pretty much exploded saying that could be like a motive for the murders, but you know. Were you aware that Mr. Thomas and Mr. Williams knew that Miss Hamilton was pregnant before Mr. Dimmons? Wait, what? Did I miss this detail? I don't remember her ever being pregnant. And why would his boys know before him? What the f is going on here? Was Mr. Dimmons furious when he found out Mr. Thomas and Mr. Williams took Mariah to get an abortion? Now, why on earth would they do that? This is f***ing crazy. Miss Holmes indicates that she overheard a conversation at Fredo Bang's house about the fact that Mr. Williams or Mr. Thomas was rapping at the studio in some sort of diss or negative way about Jamel. Do you have any information about that? What? But they were all in the studio together. So bizarre. If they were all having this many problems and beefing and shit and crazy shit going on in their relationships, why were they in the studio together? That's the confusing part to me. Tell me about this. These accusations that Sack was bullying Jamel over money. Tell me about the physical encounters between Sack Chaser and Dimmons in the months leading up to Mr. Williams' death. Yeah, I think I do remember there was, someone pointed out there was a fight between Melly and Sack Chaser, like a physical fight. I don't know if that was in the trial or I read it somewhere in another deposition or something. Miss Hamilton has indicated that there were promises made by YNW that she could quit her job and she used the word they would take care of us. Do you know what she was referring to? When's the last time you needed to go to the doctor but instead you pushed it off and said you're too busy and you don't feel like calling the doctor's office? And I get that. Booking a doctor appointment can feel so daunting, but thanks to ZocDoc, there's no reason for a delay. ZocDoc is a 100% free app and website you can search and compare high quality in-network doctors and click and instantly book your appointment. I'm talking about booking in-network appointments with over 100,000 doctors across any specialty, from mental health to dental health, from primary care to urgent care and more. You can filter for doctors who take your insurance and are nearby and are a good fit for any medical service you may need and are highly rated by verified patients. Once you find the right doctor, you can click and see their appointment slots. You can choose the time slot that works the best for you and click and instantly book your appointment. Appointments made through ZocDoc typically happen fast, within 24 to 72 hours. You can even score same-day appointments, which I did. I've been using ZocDoc for years. Every time I tell you guys I was having wisdom teeth pain, I found an oral surgeon I was having a consultation with, and then I was having surgery a day or two later. It was incredible. One of the best experiences I've ever had booking an appointment for a doctor. Stop putting off those doctor's appointments and go to ZocDoc.com/CUFBOYS to find and instantly book a top-rated doctor today. That's ZocDoc.com/CUFBOYS. ZocDoc.com/CUFBOYS. The above instances were all met with the Fifth Amendment. Meanwhile, Jamie King repeatedly claims Jamel has nothing to do with the death of plaintiff's son and that her son is innocent. Plaintiff seeks sanctions. No criminal matters are pending against Miss King whatsoever. To be fair, I think there was an investigation for witness tampering with his mother, because remember her whole wrist got bent back back by the detective when he snatched her phone from her. Like, she was being investigated for something at some point. In a deposition for a civil case, are you allowed to invoke your fifth? I think you are, right? But I'm sure there's a lot of variables to that. Overall, the words invoke or invoking were said 425 times. We request Ms. King be ordered to review her transcript and be ordered to answer questions except for those which she invoked the limited issue of witness tampering. The Fifth Amendment privilege can be asserted in any proceeding, civil or criminal, administrative or judicial. Yeah, that's what I thought, right? While asserting one's right against self-incrimination is a constitutional one, a party may not use the Fifth Amendment in order to take advantage of the litigation process. A party's assertion of the Fifth Amendment privilege in a civil case to bar relevant discovery directly conflicts with the other party's constitutional right of access to the courts. So to sum it up, it sounds like they're saying Jamie King and her defense lawyers were, taking it a little bit too far, invoking her fifth on way too many questions that weren't even a big deal, I'm guessing. The Fifth Amendment is not without limits. It protects a person only against being incriminated by his or her own compelled testimonial communications. The Fifth Amendment privilege extends only to questions whose answers will be self-incriminating. A blanket assertion of Fifth Amendment right is insufficient to invoke the privilege against self-incrimination. The state of Christopher Thomas Jr. respectfully requests this honorable court to enter an order compelling defendant Jamie King to appear at a renewed deposition, and as well as compelling her to provide answers to the questions which were falsely defended under the Fifth Amendment. Comment down below what you guys think. Love you guys. Peace out.